I'm going to teach you about differentiation. So if you are IGCSE students, this will be the first time you are learning about differentiation. So let me teach you the basics of differentiation. If you get an equation, for example, y is equal to 7x squared. So how do you differentiate this? What you first do is you multiply the 2 by the 7, that means the power by the front number. So what do you get? The differentiation, we equal it as dy over dx is equal to, you multiply the power by the front number. So 7 times 2 is 14x, and you subtract 1 from the power. So if you subtract 1 from 2, what do you get? 1, right? So this is the differential of this. Alright, let's take another example. So y is equal to 3x cubed minus 8x. So what's the differential of this? Alright, it's going to be dy over dx is equal to, you multiply 3 by the front number, so that's going to be 3 times 3, 9 x. Then you subtract 1 from the power, so it's going to be 2. Alright, in the second term, the power here is going to be 1, even though it's not written. Alright, so you multiply power 1 by the front number, so that's going to be minus 8. And from the power, you're going to subtract 1. So if you subtract 1 from 1, what do you get? X to the power 0. So do you know that any number to the power 0 is equal to 1? Even 100,000 to the power 0, 10,000 to the power 0 is equal to 1. 100,000 to the power 0, still it's 1. So you can write here, instead of x squared, 1. So 1 times 8 is going to be what? 8, minus 8 actually. So 9x squared minus 8. That's going to be the differential of this. Alright, I hope you understood. Alright, let me give you another example. Y is equal to 8x cubed plus x minus 4. So how do you find the differential? I'll just give you some time for you to think and write. Alright, so dy over dx is equal to what? You multiply the power by the front number. So 8 times 3, 24 x. And what's the power? 3 minus 1? It's going to be 2. Alright, in the next case, you have power 1 here, x to the power 1. So even though we don't put it, it's 1 here. So 1 times 1 is going to be 1 and x to the power 0. And when you have a number term, the usual x power is 0. We don't put it. So 0 times 4 is going to be 0. So no need of taking numbers for differential. So if you have a number, we don't take it actually. I hope you got it. Alright. So x to the power 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1 plus 24x squared equals dy over dx. Alright. Let's come into terms like this. Y is equal to x to the power 3 bracket x minus 4. I'll just give you some time to write the answer. Okay. First thing you have to do is expand the equation. So y is equal to, if you expand this, you know that there's power 1, x to the power 4. And if you expand this with this, minus 4x cubed. Now you might be wondering, why did x to the power 4 come? So I hope you know that indices rules. If you have x to the power 3 and multiply by x to the power 1, what bases are same, so the powers get added. So x to the power 4. So that's the reason why this became x to the power 4. Alright, that comes in the indices lesson, which I'll be doing in the future. Alright, dy over dx is equal to, you multiply by the front number, even though it's not written, it's 1. So 4 to the power 1 is 4. And from the power you subtract 1, 3. Minus, then from the next term. So 4 into 3. That's going to be minus 12x. So from the power you need to subtract 1. So that's going to be 2. Alright, I hope it's clear for you. Alright, let's come into another example. Y is equal to 3x minus 2 squared. Alright, can you expand and do the rest? I'll give you some time. Alright, so in this case what you have to do is you have to first expand this. So if you expand this, you know that 3x should be multiplied by 3x. So that's going to be 9x squared. And 3x should be multiplied by minus 2. That's going to be minus 6x. Then the minus 2 should be multiplied by 3. So that's going to be minus 6x. Then minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 plus 4. So 9x squared. These two are going to give you minus 12x plus 4. Alright, this is not the differential answer, still just the expansion of this. Alright, now only we are going to differentiate it. So dy over dx, that's the differential of y in terms of x. So 9 times 2 is going to be 18x. Then power 1 is here. 1 times minus 12 is minus 12. And you know that x to power 0 is 1, so 12 times 1 is 12. So this is going to be the differential of this term. Alright, what if you have questions where you get fractions 3 over x squared? In this kind of a question, you need to take the x to the numerator. So to do this, what you have to do is 3x minus 2. What's the reason for this? If you have a term like this, when you take it to the numerator, what happened to the power is it becomes minus. For example, if you have a negative term in the denominator, if you take it up, it becomes x to the power 3, become positive. If you have a positive term, if it goes up to the numerator, it becomes negative. So I hope you get it. Alright, now we can differentiate it in terms of x. So dy over dx is equal to this into this minus 6x and minus 2 minus 1 from the power. You first multiply from the power the front number. I got minus 6. So from the power you subtract 1. So what's minus 2 minus 1? That's going to be negative 3. So you owe someone minus 2 rupees. You again owe him 1 rupee. So it's going to be minus 3. So alright, minus 3. Alright, let's get into another example where you need to do. I'll give you some time. Don't think it's going to be hard, even though it has a lot of terms. Alright, can you try this? First expand. Okay, so the expansion, if you do, y is equal to 4x to the power 4, because this power is 1. So if you multiply it, it becomes 4x to the power 4. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8x to the power 2 divided by x squared. Okay. After this, we can separate this into two fractions. So 4x squared divided by x squared minus 8x squared divided by x squared. So can you see here, these two terms get cancelled off. So it just becomes 8. And in this case, you know that in this rule, if you have two bases as division, you can subtract the powers. What's 4 minus 2? So which means x to the power 4 minus 2. So x over 4 divided by x over 2 is equal to x to the power 4 minus 2. That's going to be x to the power 2. So instead of this part, I can write 4x to the power 2. Still we didn't differentiate. This is just simplified of y. Now to differentiate it, it's just the easy part. Multiply the power by the front number. So that's going to be 8x. And does number terms come? I said that if you have a number term, it's x to the power 0. So 0 times minus 8 is 0. 0 times anything is 0. So you don't need to write 0 if you get a number term, basically. So what's the answer then? It's just 8x. So I hope you understood the main rule of it. By the way, the general equation, if you take in a differential, if you have an equation y is equal to x to the power n, so dy over dx is equal to what? The power comes front, n, x. From the power, you subtract 1, n minus 1. So this is the general equation for differentiation. So from this video, I hope you understood the entire concepts of differentiation. We'll catch up from another lesson. Thank you.